Molly and Lucas, thank you. For more on all of this, joining us now live is Republican Congressman from Texas and member of that House Oversight Committee, Pat Fallon. Congressman, let me pick up right where Lucas left off. You're on that Oversight Committee. You are going to get Devon Archer before you behind closed doors. But I'll ask you the same question that Molly asked Lucas, which is there a chance that the public will find out what Archer says to you guys?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Griff. We're going to have a transcribed interview, and as soon as the transcript is done, it will be released publicly. And, it's very important because the question that we're trying to ask in the Oversight Committee is we know that Hunter Biden is, engaged in criminal activity and is corrupt, but is his father, is the president of the United States a national security risk? Is he compromised? And that is a question that we have to ask. And right now, all the evidence leads to the fact that they were in cahoots and Hunter was his bagman.
Congressman, I was the reporter in Wilmington, and it was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it covering the court cases I've covered in the past, where a plea deal, and remember, this was a tax evasion, 2 small misdemeanor charges, unraveled in real time, and it was because Judge Noreika was pressing the prosecution about whether there was an ongoing investigation pertaining to Hunter's overseas business dealings, and obviously that we now know, and I watched it happen when he pressed about the Chinese payments of over $600,000. But when she asked specifically the prosecution if he could be charged with things like a FARA violation, the Foreign Agent Registration Act, he said yes. That's when the defense said, whoa, we're out, we're done, no sir, no deal here. And then from there, it went down. Now, of course, she hasn't rejected it totally. They've got 30 days to get back on the constitutionality issue of the diversion on the gun charge. But I don't want to confuse our viewers, specifically as we talk about possible FARA charges coming. How do you see it?
Well, yeah, that's what Hunter Biden's lawyers wanted. That basically they were after blanket immunity. And it looks as if he was engaged in, activity that should have been registered as a foreign agent because the Burisma CEO, Zlochevsky, wanted to come to the United States and wanted to get a visa and was having a problem with getting a visa. So Hunter acted on his behest and on his behalf and, was really trying to call to the powers of heaven and earth and move those so Zlochevsky could get the United States. That never came to fruition. But I believe that Hunter is also not only was he engaged in influence peddling and access, but also I think he violated the FARA Act as well.
I don't want to give away your cards too much, but what do you want to ask specifically of Devon Archer?
Well, specifically, I'm very interested in what happened in Ukraine because Devon Archer was Hunter Biden's former best friend. They were both sitting on the board of Burisma. Zlochevsky was a target of a corruption investigation. In fact, the American ambassador to Ukraine, Jeffrey Pyatt, gave a speech in September 2015 saying that he was corrupt and by name mentioned Zlochevsky. And then suddenly Hunter has a phone call in December. This is what I'm very interested in because they had a conference call with Devon Archer was present, Zlochevsky was present, and Hunter was present because those two were sitting on the board where he said to his father, called Joe Biden, said, Dad, they need our support, meaning Zlochevsky and Burisma. And boy, did Joe Biden deliver. He flew to Ukraine. He said, I want that prosecutor fired. I'm withholding $1 billion worth of aid. And then Shokin seized 4 homes of Zlochevsky, 2 plots of land and a Rolls Royce. He was then fired. And then Joe Biden released $1 billion of aid to Ukraine. You tell me that doesn't sound a little fishy.
And Congressman, I want to ask you if you think there's been a change in tone at the White House from the early days when even President Biden himself was saying he was not aware of his son's dealings. Now, the official line coming from the podium from Jean-Pierre appears to be the president was not involved in business dealings. Do you see a change in tone?
Oh, there's no doubt about it because Joe Biden, remember, Griff, in 2019 said, he built this firewall where he said, I have no idea what my son's doing. I have no knowledge of his business dealings. But then in debate said he didn't take any money from China. If he doesn't know what his son's doing, how does he know that he didn't take money from China? Which, of course, he ended up, yes, he did. So he's kind of caught in a quandary here. But we've also seen he's given tours of the White House with some of Hunter Biden's business associates. He's had dinner with them. He's had at least 2 dozen phone calls with them. So clearly he was deeply involved, and they just got caught in a lie.
Hey, Congressman, we're just about out of time, but I want to just ask you about the other story that I've been covering, and that is, of course, 3 new charges against former President Trump in the mishandling of classified documents case out of Florida. Your reaction there?
I think the prosecutors are just watering it down at this point. I mean, the American people want to move on, and I think this is absolutely evidence of a two-tier justice system, Griff.
But is there a problem, as the Wall Street Journal points out this week? They're saying that the former president's original line about the indictments was that he had the right to classify anything that he wanted to, declassify, excuse me. But now he's being accused of trying to delete surveillance video. Do you see a problem in those two things?
Well, we do know that the current presidents of the United States, while they're still in office, can declassify nearly everything except for nuclear secrets and a couple other things. But so President Trump had that authority, and they're accusing him of basically obstruction. Let's see the evidence. I mean, that's what we have, a justice system, and President Trump will be able to face his accuser.
Let's see the evidence. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon, thank you very much. We look forward to your hearing on Monday. Thanks for taking time on Saturday.
Thanks, Griff. God bless. Take care.